Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 188 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we are going to use bots to help us upgrade our power production. Enjoy! We're going to be burning a bunch of random stuff on this side, although we may want to kind of separate each one of these. Because right now it's kind of combined with wood bricks, but wood bricks are actually a pretty good fuel source. Let's just have one be the junk stuff that we want to burn. And we've probably calculated this before, but let's calculate it again. Let's see. Looks like they changed how this works a little bit. That the energy recipes are combined in the regular recipe selector now. That's okay. You want steam engine 3, and this steam will come from the heat exchanger. To go in there and select heat exchanger to make sure it's right, and then the heat comes from the burner heat source. And we're probably going to be limited on water. So let's compute this by factory. We want one offshore pump. And let's say this is the order of this wrong. Is that why it's not automatically working? This does seem to be a little different. Might just have to calculate this manually because none of these are really connecting to each other. We can go with 10. We do have faster pumps, but because of pipe limitations, they don't seem to work too well. So we'll just go with this right here. And why is that not connected? Oh, there we go. 2 to 1 to 4. And this is set to burn coal. But it can burn anything. It's just a question of how fast the inserters have to move. It seems like they'll be able to move just fine regardless. So, how are the bots doing? Well, they're getting there. They're working their way down. One pole at a time. Well, we've already got a setup, kind of, over here. It does use the old poles, but let's just grab this anyway. Let's see if this is kind of what we need. Because our calculation should be roughly these numbers. And they look like they match up. I don't know if we want to make more. Guess it depends. Wonder what the output of that is, but it's not like we're going to have that much of this, but we could also calculate what is the actual factory's output of these blocks. It'll be 9 per second. So we can come here, change the fuel. And that's a little bit more than half. We should probably double this up then to make it match. And it's not the most dense of ways, but since water is above, it kind of makes sense to just pull it off right here and kind of do the same thing on the other side. You want to position it in such a way where they can be tiled. One thing we do need to concern ourselves with this setup is getting the fuel in here. That might be kind of annoying. Of course, these are also the wrong type of machines. But we should be able to drop them in place. So we'll have the fuel come in the middle. Although we do want the neighbor bonus, though. So we do want to smush them. And let's see, these power poles. Looks like we can get rid of the middle ones. And the heat pipes can go in there, and we probably want to have the heat pipes from down there go in too, just to make it nice and even if possible. And we'll basically want this, but flipped, but it won't let us. I guess because of the heat sources. Well, let's just cut them out then. Then it'll get split, and looks like almost barely fits in here, but it would basically be something like that. And we could probably make this more compact by doing it like a double like that, but then we'd have to get the water in there, which sounds a little annoying. And space isn't a premium right here on the coast, so we can just expand outwards. Before we start going nuts, expanding things, there should be a bunch of extras from previous constructions. And we can kind of help the bots a little bit with items in the inventory. And while waiting, all this stuff can be converted. So we need somewhere for these steel pipes to go, because I've got some in my inventory. And how about right here? So those have been well converted. And looks like it didn't quite connect right there. But otherwise, we're probably pretty good. Okay, so those do connect. Okay, so our bot network should extend all the way down here. Of course, it'll take them a very long time to get here. We've got all those alien artifacts we've got to do something with. But we got a bunch of stuff to remove. We can take care of that transformer in a bit. Let's see, probably don't want to pick all of that up because I imagine that is connected to everything else. Okay. So are the construction bots on their way? Oh yes. They are very far away, but they will get here. We probably want somewhere for them to park. Of course, they're probably just going to fly all the way back there, but hey, you never know. It's always nice to leave the robots somewhere to go. If they need it. They ran out of power. Well, that's a strange place not to have a radar. But they took the fast way and ran out of power, so now they're all charging up again. Well, they'll get here. Let's see, we've got our setup right here we want to use, but face it the other way. And try to keep it lined up with what we have, but it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. Let's use that. And these are going to be byproduct burners. So we don't want to wait until it gets all the way to the bottom, because we do want to make these byproducts disappear. So how about we set that to 50%. Or I guess this one would be 50. And this would be like 55. Hey, they finally got here, kind of. We still may want to help them by using robots from the crawler or our own personal bots. Just to make the process faster. But the swarm has gotten here. And they are working hard. But for now, we can set that to go over there to clean it up a bit. need more construction zone. So we could probably cut that out. Probably just redo this somewhere else. So let's just pick it up. Plop it there so we know what it looks like. And fuel blocks are definitely something we don't want in our inventory. Let's turn off logistics for a second. Let's put a burner heat source here. Then we can lay these all down. There should be a bunch of bots coming by with those burners. Well, a bunch of bots are doing things. That's for sure. Because now we need to copy this. Right here. We probably only need one power pole in the middle there. Ah, the storage chest is full. Oh, we need another one full of junk. Okay, let's connect these. We do need some copper wire. I don't think that's in the personal logistics here. Okay, so that should still be connected and work properly. We just gotta wait on all the parts. And they're getting here. Oh, probably should have this be red. Just in case. And this will be an output, but it's actually going to be an output mostly of junk. So actually we probably want some storage warehouses here. Probably a big one for the alien artifacts. And a small one for everything else. Just depends here. Actually, let's put it up here. That way we can have an output for each item type. So this one right here be the alien artifacts, the small ones, and that'll be the big ones. I think that's really the only things that we're randomly burning right now. We'll just have to play it by ear. And of course our inventory is full of junk. So logistics robots probably are trying to come down here to help. Yeah. Just they're very far away. Any fuel blocks that find themselves in our inventory should probably go right there. We'll just have to wait on the logistics robots to get here for everything else. Let's see, I guess it's all connected. So these things are going to fire up for a while. It always takes quite some time to warm up. And let's see, we need to get everything hooked up. It looks like the power poles don't quite reach here, but they are reaching up there, which is the incorrect behavior. I'll just let all these things power their own inserters. See, it's offshore pump 2. The fastest pump we have. Looks like it. Bots finally made it to help out. And yeah, let's keep this connected for now. To keep the heat up. Because once it produces enough power, it can power its own inserters. Because the output will be controlled here. Although it probably would be more reliable if the inserters were powered separately. So smoky. Looks like we're needing some pipes here. bots can help with that. Okay. These should all be connected on their own network. And they are. It's going to keep applying heat and powering them up. But now they're hooked up to the accumulators here, and then when it gets below 50%, they will all power up. We need to do something similar here. Oh, it looks like I didn't quite do this right. So I'm going to pick all this up and swing it down. That way they can more tightly be compacted in there. Let's see, we definitely don't want wood blocks in our inventory either. They ran out of power. Let's see, we might want more construction robots, since a lot of them spend a lot of their time in transit. So let's increase the number to, how about 2,000? See, there are better places to put this now, so hopefully they come by. They don't. Is there not a logistics filter here? Well, let's set the construction robots to 2,000. Yeah, there is a filter here, so why are the robots dropping them up there? Is it just because this is too far away? Yeah, a lot of those robots are going up. Doesn't make any sense. Well, we can kind of fix that a little bit by making a requester chest. Now they should be picking items up and dropping them in there, I hope. Okay, it looks like those are the fuel blocks being sent down there. So they eventually will succeed in their task. And probably want something doing the same with these wood blocks as well. So if we do that, yep, bunch of robots go in there to grab the wood blocks. Okay, our first setup is basically complete here. This was to handle random byproducts we want to burn. Basically things we pick up off the ground, like biter orbs. And the second set of machines needs to be for these wood blocks. So we grab it. And put it over here. And when the robots get here, we got to make sure the wires don't stay connected. Seems like the inserters aren't putting the resources in there properly. Well, we can do that in other ways. Let's request like 2,000 blocks for that one. Okay, disconnect the sides. Doing power stuff is always kind of interesting / annoying in that way. And we don't need to put that there. We can just sort of cut across here. It's kind of annoying that that just barely doesn't reach. But we don't need this anymore. And this is for wood. This is the last resort thing, so probably want to set this nice and low. Like 10 and 15%. And that should be connected properly. Let's 85 steam engines, which seems a little wrong. I see. It's unfortunately pulling from the other engines. This is where the long power reach is a disadvantage. Of course, by doing that, now it doesn't quite reach for some of the engines. So we need some of the short pulls. They still come in handy. Okay, well, it's all hooked up. So now we let it run. Let's see, some of these are cross-connected, it looks like. And power is below 50%. So it is connected. It's kind of interesting that it was below 50%, but it just started being night, so I wonder if something got messed up in the settings here. But at least it seems to be working. We need to keep this going. We don't need any wood in our inventory either. Alright, that's hot enough to produce power. So it looks like the accumulators got discharged while we were messing with things. So we're pretty low on power right now, because it's nighttime. So hopefully the two of these can take care of things, but we also need to be burning all of these blocks, which we haven't been doing. And that counts for a very significant amount of power. That the setup makes, so. Let's put some charge ports out here. Here come the bots to help. Okay, we need another one of these latches. If block is greater than, I don't know, how about 100? It turns on. And if it hits 0, it turns off. That way it keeps our electrical network looking clean. And that just stays connected all the time. Why are they not working the same way? They're basically set up the same. Is this not connected? It sure seems like it is. Oh, it's a recipe. That can get a little confusing sometimes. Yeah, that's for the crafting combinator mod. So you have to be careful that you don't select recipes. But that has been connected. Looks like all those bots are waiting on that charge pad. Power is doing very poorly, but the solar panels are kicking in, so hopefully everything will stabilize. I don't know why it says we're missing items. I think the recipe was set incorrectly. Because I think we want this to be the heat exchanger. And the construction bots are grabbing items. Looks like we had some bots crash here. And That's their cargo. So what does this look like here? Well, it is fully connected. Still waiting on this one right here. And I guess that one right there. But they're on their way. We might have to make more of these for these fuel blocks, since it's a major source of power for our base. But we can see how this works for now. It was falling behind for a while there, but it looks like we're starting to clear out the backup. So we're probably consuming it faster than we're making it. We're making it at 4.3. And let's switch this out. For those. And actually, we can probably do 2 of these. So in that sense, we probably should. So hopefully we can just copy this whole thing. Go right here, but we need more things. Looks like I destroyed a pump on accident. Oh well. We don't really use this for much anymore. So he says no heat pipes either. But that's just because it's running at full blast. That one didn't get any modules. Probably should put a radar in here while I'm thinking about it. Actually, because we're not really using fuel blocks for anything anymore, we probably don't need to have this enabled condition here. We could just leave it on all the time. And let that shoot him out. Let's set that to 60, because I think each drone can hold 60. But let's do 100, just to be safe. Because yeah, I think that was in there to make sure that it didn't monopolize the fuel blocks from trains and things, but since we're not using them for that anymore, this should be fine. And it looks like this side is about to heat up fully. I don't think there's any crossed wires anywhere. And we're producing quite a bit of power now. Looking good so far. And that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.